Hey everybody, welcome to lesson 3 of our series, Walk It Like You Talk It. Our world has been a bit of a crazy place recently. What's crazier is that crazy is actually kind of the norm when you think about it. We all experience a bit of chaos throughout our lives, and oftentimes we even experience the same things as one another, but we feel it differently. Kind of like everything that's going on right now. We're all in the middle of a pandemic, but we're all reacting to it differently. What might be hard or painful for some might be normal for others. What we might call chaos, someone else might just call Thursday. We all experience things differently and react differently, which is why today's topic can be so important, but also so hard. Empathy. Comparable or even tied to compassion, I would say that empathy is an integral part of Christian living. It's the emotional response we have for others we come in contact with who might be dealing with difficult times or might be hurting. This emotional response of empathy is what drives us to actions of compassion. It also drives us to having or not having patience, to loving others in their situations no matter what our differences are, being gentle with your words, your actions, or reactions. The ability or reaction of empathy is somehow both one of those things that you're born with and or something you need to learn and build as a skill. But we see so obviously that empathy was a trait that was lived out daily as Jesus walked this earth. We see it when Jesus was eating with the holiest of Hebrews at the end of Luke chapter 7, and a sinner came in and started weeping all over his feet. She brought expensive perfume and dumped it on him. The men who watched this happen just judged her, questioned her presence, and even why or how Jesus could let this happen. Why would he want her presence? But Jesus saw her pain. He saw her sorrow. He saw her need for forgiveness and new life. He didn't concern himself with the thoughts of others. He didn't just not judge her, but he stepped into their judgment to empathize with her, to show her love and mercy. We see it when his good friend Lazarus died, and Jesus went to be with his sisters, whom he was also friends with, and he wept with them. He comforted them because he too felt their pain of loss. His grief may have been different because he knew and understood death differently than they did, but he felt grief nonetheless, and he wept with them. We even see it when he hung on the cross. He cried out to his Father, and what did he request? "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they are doing." He clearly didn't agree with the decision these men had to crucify them, but he felt the pain because he knew that they didn't belong to the Father as children. He cried out for their forgiveness for the very men who were murdering him, literally while it was happening. Now, I think it's pretty obvious that we don't come across the same situations that Jesus did as he lived in this earth. But we're called to live like Christ nonetheless. So, should we not have empathy for the hurting and the broken around us? Shouldn't we mourn for the loss of our friends? Shouldn't we grieve for those who don't yet know Christ and cry out for their salvation? What does this even look like in our modern world, or a world where we're not supposed to be out and about? Well, we're in the middle of a pandemic. As followers of Christ, it is crucial that you are able to have empathy for the hurting in your community. And I don't just mean the people you actually know, not just the people that go to your church or your school or your family reunions. Jesus had empathy for people who cried out to him, people who he met in the middle of random crowds, and even those who hung him on a cross. He cried out all the same. So what does it mean for you? What does this empathy look like for you? Would someone else consider you as empathetic, or do you only view things from your point of view, from your perspective? Would others call you compassionate, or are you more concerned with being right, flourishing in your life, having comfort for you now? What are you currently doing, or what do you need to do to change your life and make sure that you walk it like you talk it?